God spoke to me yesterday in a dream, and his message at first it was a little confused, but I prayed on it, and now that it's became crystal clear to me, I like to share what I experienced in that dream. So a little backstory: I used to be afraid of sleeping on my back. Like, I know it's gonna sound silly. I used to be afraid of sleeping on my back because I used to catch sleep paralysis real bad whenever I slept on my back. And if those of you don't know what sleep paralysis is, I still don't know how to explain it. It's just whenever you sleep and you wake up and you just can't move. It kind of feel like you still dreaming. It's like whenever you sleep, you try to wake up and like you legit can't move anything but your eyes. And then the black shadowy figure will either scare you awake or it'll look like he'll lunge at you and legit you'll be woken up out of your sleep. It legit felt like a nightmare. And at first I didn't know that it was demonic. At first I just thought it was something that happened to people, but what I was literally seeing was a big black shadowy figure reach his hand, and I would be sleeping on my back. The way I would wake up is I would see him come over my bed. He'll be walking up to me slowly, and it'll be at the footboard of my bed. And he would just stand up tall, like he would just get taller, kind of like he was taking on shape of the room. Like he legit acted as a shadow. Next thing I know, he was over top of me. Like, this is my face, this is his face, like this. He has white eyes, and he's just black shadowy figure. Like, I don't know how to explain it other than that. And he would reach his hand down my throat like, and I would just wake up. Or there'd be other times where I see black shadowy figures all gathered around me, bro, and they'll be ready to just do whatever they gotta do. Like, it was just legit just like that. But I didn't know it was demonic. But anyway, I wouldn't sleep on my back because that's the only time it would happen. And about 2 months ago, I felt God telling me that I should sleep on my back because I shouldn't be scared of anything. But at that time, I wasn't really grounded in my word. Right now, like, I'm not trying to brag at all, but I've been so locked in with God. I've been so locked in with reading the Bible that I'm not afraid of anything no more, basically. But back then, I wasn't really grounded in my word. And in my mind, I was thinking, like, I ain't trying to take that risk. Because if that happens, I'm going to be messed up. I'm going to be shook. I'm not trying to go through that again. I went to sleep, and I slept on my back, but I didn't realize that I slept on my back because I was like gassed. We came back from the gym. I was tired. As I was sleeping on my back, I didn't feel like, it's like I didn't feel any threat. I wasn't attacked by sleep paralysis is what I'm trying to say. I wasn't hit by sleep paralysis, but I was attacked in my dream. So I was attacked, I want to say, by a succubus, because in the dream, I remember I was taking a shower. Now, when I was taking a shower, for some reason, I was watching porn in the shower getting ready to spank. When I tell you, like, I felt like on fire, like I was in heat, like I had the bust. So yeah, I felt on fire, like I just had to release. Like I just had to pleasure myself in the moment. And usually how it would go in those dreams that I did have like that, I would always end up masturbating because I wouldn't know how to, like, in the dream felt so real. Like, it just felt like I needed to let go then and there. Like, I needed to masturbate then and there. I didn't know how to tell myself that I was dreaming. And every time in those dreams, it would feel like now, masturbate now, to the point where I didn't even give God a shot. I couldn't think of God in my mind because I was so caught up, like, in masturbate. You feel this pleasure, look at this woman, or look at this, like, masturbate. But this time in that dream, it didn't play out like that. I remember I was literally on the verge of masturbating. Like, I'm not trying to get, like, too graphic, too not inappropriate, but so, like, for my fellas out there, for the men, you know how when you're about to, like, when you about to bust, like, no diddy, when you about to bust, you just feel like warm, like you just feel heat, like, oh yeah, like the ultimate pleasure, like no diddy, bro. I was legit on the verge of that, but I just called on God instantly, then and there. I said, God, help me. I don't want to do this. And then I started thinking about all of the progress that I made. I've been, like, I ain't watched porn. I haven't masturbated. I've been clean from that. And it's been 8 months now. And I plan on never doing that stuff again. I already talked to God about that. In that instant, like, when I pray, I called out to God. I just started saying, help me, God. I ain't never gonna do this to you again. I thought about how they did him on the cross, how I still don't like thinking about that stuff, but I just reminded myself of who God was in that moment. Like, God is way better than this feeling. So, and that has never happened before in any dream. Like, any time that if I was put in that situation, like before, I would have folded. Like, oh yeah, it was done with me. But this time, it didn't happen. So after that, like, legit, when I called on God and I ran away from the temptation, I was still in the shower, but I didn't pay attention to, I don't know if I had a phone, I don't know what I had. I just didn't pay attention to the porn. So then I get I get shifted to this different plane. Like, I get shifted to this different area. Now in this area, I'm on the bed, but it's like an endless bed. Like, I don't know how to explain it. It was like an endless bed. Like, no matter where I went, it would be some bed there. But I was on the bed with two women. I was on the bed with two women. I didn't pay attention to the first one, but they ain't gonna lie, they was beautiful. I didn't pay attention to the first one because it was one lady in particular who caught my eye. And the woman, like, I don't know what it was, but it reminded me, it was like legit just my type. It is my type of woman. Like, I want to say that that lady reminded me of somebody in the past, but it was just my type of woman, the type of woman that I be praying to God for. Legit was on the bed. I remember, like, she is wearing easy access clothing, bro. Like, if you know, you know. Like, easy access clothing. Like, we ain't dumb. So when I was on the bed, I legit just, like, I didn't feel the drive no more. Like, I didn't want to sleep with that woman. I didn't want to have sex with her. I didn't want to do none of that because I just kept on thinking about what God was doing for me. And the whole time she was looking at me with like this stare, like that look, you know, that look. Like, she was looking at me with that look, man, like trying to seduce me with her eyes, coming over, like trying to slide over to me, crawl over to me. And the whole time I was just looking at her and I just kept on backing up. I remember backing up so much that I ended up making it somewhere different. I ended up going to a different plane, like another terrain, like a whole nother world. And I remember I made it to this place and I made it to this place and it was somebody next to me. And that person, we were just having a casual conversation, but it felt like I knew that person my whole life. I would talk to him. I was talking to him like he was my brother. I was talking to him like he was legit someone I knew forever. And the things that he said, bro, I just remember this, and this is like actually in my heart. He said that, so I was controlling the sun, right? Like, I was legit controlling the sun, and it felt like I was pulling it, like just shining it on different places of the earth. I was controlling the sun legit. And he started going on about how he wished that the sun could shine on all of the earth. I was shining the sun on the earth. He said that he wished that the sun would shine on all of the earth and not just parts of it. He prefers that the sun would shine on all of the earth and not just parts of it. And we was legit talking, and I could remember, like, bro, I just remember, like, that felt so beautiful. Like, I just remember him smiling. We were talking like my actual blood brother. We was talking like that. And I got a lot of love for my brother, bro. I love you if you're looking at this, by the way, like, to death. That's how it felt in the moment. Like, it felt like I knew this person my whole life. And when he said that he'll rather the sun shine on all of the earth and not just pieces of it, and the fact that I was controlling it, I feel like he was telling us that, not that we, like, I feel like he was telling me in that moment that I have the power to shine the word. Like, I have the power to be a light to the world by spreading his word. He wants the brothers and sisters, the followers of Christ, not no religious people. He wants followers of Christ who will spread the true word to people all around the globe so that his light could shine on all of the world and there will be no parts of darkness. He wants us to spread his word on all of the earth. Like, it might sound like common sense to people, like, yeah, that's what it says in the Bible, but for me to see that in it, for me to be controlling the sun in a dream, and he's telling me that he wants it to shine on all of the earth, he prefer it to shine on all people, I was just like, what am I doing right now? But like, I just prayed, and it just made so much sense to me. He helped me to understand it. And the dreams that I had with them succubus when I was getting tempted, I've been praying for God to free me from lust. Like, I've prayed so many times. Even the video that I made, the 5 steps I took to get free from lust, I was free, but I still got tempted at times. It would still be tests coming my way. But I ain't gonna say I was afraid of those tests, but I was very cautious to not put myself in position to be tested or put myself in a place where I know I was weak. God showed me in that dream how I was able to fight off that lust even in a moment of heat. That's legit when I'm at my weakest. I'm not afraid to admit it. That, like, I seen this comedy, like, I seen this comedy. They said, if you wanted to rob a man, the best time to do it is when he about to bust. Like, that's legit when I was at my weakest, when I was legit about to bust. God showed me then and there in that moment, I'm free. I don't have nothing to worry about. I don't have nothing to worry about as long as I call on his name. And it started when, like, this dream only happened when again, this is the most that I've been in that Bible, man. This is the most that I've read. I'm not going to sit here and act like I'm a wizard, but this is the most that I've read and understood and actually kept in my heart, like, in all time. Like, all time. That dream was just amazing. I hope that it edified y'all. I hope that it really blessed y'all. And if y'all had any dreams, feel free to leave them in the comments. If I get comments, whatever, I'm thankful for whoever this reached, and I pray that God will continue to bless y'all. If you haven't given your life to God, I suggest that you do. Legit the best choice that you could ever make. Amen. I missed another key detail in that dream as well. With me shining a light on the world and God telling me that he would prefer the whole world, to be covered in light than to have parts in darkness. He wants everybody to be covered in light. Another thing that he was explaining to me was that he doesn't want nobody to perish. And that, like, it also felt so beautiful to me in that moment, because I realized, and I'm not even gonna say I realized this, I don't fully understand God, because I don't think nobody can, but I'm starting to understand more and more how merciful God is. Even though that he knows that this world is evil, he knows that the world has bad things going on in it, but he would still want his love to be shined throughout the whole entire world, despite what people say, despite many people curse his name. He still wants everybody to know of his love, to know of his message, to know of his light. He wants the whole entire world to see his light, or at least know of it. That's just so amazing. God, he really, he got away with doing his thing, bro. I ain't even gonna say no much more. He got away with doing his thing, bro.